All right, Taurus, let's get into your reading. All right, the message that I have for you today is this. Someone wants nothing more than to be yours, and then you go and do something unexpected. And when I say that, I mean something specific the cards are going to break down today. There is a situation where someone put their heart on the line, fully and without holding back. They showed up with no room for doubt, and what they offered you was completely genuine. This was not a casual move on their part. It was a declaration from somewhere deep within. But something happened on your side that shifted the energy, and it caught them off guard entirely. Let us go ahead and get into it, because the cards have much to reveal, and what is happening beneath the surface needs to be seen. This is not about blame. It is about understanding a dynamic that needs honest attention now. The connection between you two carries real weight, and what happened recently did not erase any of it. But it did create a moment of confusion, and both of you are sitting inside that quietly. Something real was placed in front of you, and the response that followed did not match the feeling. That mismatch is what the cards want to address, because the truth underneath tells a deeper story. And I want you to stay with me through this, because by the end, it will make sense. The first card here is the Seven of Cups, and it sets the tone for this entire reading. This card shows me a fog of distractions, pulling your attention in too many directions at once. The Seven of Cups tells me you may have made a choice from confusion, not from your heart. Something clouded your judgment recently, and the action that followed left a mark on this connection. This card is not about bad intentions. It speaks to lost focus and scattered energy in one moment. You stood in front of something real, and instead of meeting it clearly, you let doubt take over. This card does not judge you. It shows what the energy looked like in that specific moment. The distraction was temporary, but the impact it had on this person went much deeper than expected. They felt the shift instantly, and what they read from your action was not what you actually meant. The Seven of Cups confirms the fog is lifting now, and clarity is starting to return to you. And once that clarity settles in fully, you will see this situation for exactly what it truly is. What you did came from a scattered place, not from the truth your heart actually holds inside. We also have the Emperor, and this reveals what this person has been quietly building toward with you. The Emperor shows me someone who took this seriously, someone constructing a future with you in mind. This person was not playing around at all. They were laying real foundations for something permanent. The Emperor confirms they had a structured vision, a committed plan that included you in every detail. The Emperor does not build lightly, and neither does this person when it comes to the heart. When you pulled back, it shook the stability they were trying to build with their own hands. They could not understand why someone they gave everything to would retreat right when it mattered most. The Emperor tells me their confusion comes from disbelief, not anger, because the ground shifted beneath them. They built something solid in their heart for you, and now they stand in the rubble, wondering. Then we have the Two of Wands, and this shows the crossroads where the connection now sits. The Two of Wands tells me a decision point is alive, and both of you can feel it. This card confirms the connection is not over, but it stands at a fork requiring honesty soon. Potential still burns here, and a path forward exists if the right choice gets made in time. This card holds both options in its hands. One leads forward, and the other leads toward regret. The message is true. This person wants to be yours, and that desire has not changed at all. But what you did created a pause they never expected, and both sides must decide what comes next. This crossroads will not wait forever, and the cards want you to understand how urgent this moment is. Every card confirms the same truth. The love is real, the confusion is real, and choice remains. This reading is not about what went wrong. It is about what has every chance to go right.
Okay, let us look at your side of this, because the cards have something important to show you. You are carrying more guilt than you admit, and that weight has been sitting heavy on your chest. Something inside you already knows the truth, that what you did was not aligned with your heart. The hard part is that you are not careless by nature, and that is why this bothers you. You hold yourself to a high standard, and falling short of that standard created a quiet war inside. Part of you wants to justify the action, and another part already sees through every excuse you made. That battle between knowing and denying is exhausting, and the cards confirm you have been fighting it daily. That inner tension is what the cards pick up on, a divide between your logic and your feelings. Your mind built a case for why you did it, but your heart never agreed with that reasoning. And now you sit in the aftermath wondering, did you let something irreplaceable slip through your fingers? The first card here is the Four of Swords, and it speaks to where your energy stands now. The Four of Swords shows me someone in retreat, pulled back and gone inward after what happened. You have been sitting in your own silence, replaying the moment over and over in your mind quietly. The Four of Swords tells me you needed that pause because the weight of it all overwhelmed you. This card confirms you are not ignoring what happened. You are processing it deeply beneath the surface. The stillness you feel is not avoidance. It is your spirit trying to find its footing again. You withdrew because facing the truth felt too heavy, and your soul needed time to catch up. The Four of Swords also tells me that clarity is coming through slowly, even inside this quiet space. You are beginning to see things differently than you did in the moment, and that shift matters deeply. The version your mind created is slowly crumbling, and what your heart always knew is rising up. The confusion that led to your action is starting to lift, and what remains underneath is honest regret. The Queen of Swords is here, and she reflects a part of you that took control too quickly. The Queen of Swords shows me your logic overriding your heart, and the timing could not be worse. You made a calculated decision when the moment called for vulnerability, and that mismatch created damage. The Queen of Swords confirms you chose protection over presence, and now you feel the cost. Your sharp mind is a gift, but in this situation, it cut away something that needed softness instead. You analyzed when you should have felt, and you distanced when every part of you wanted to stay. The Queen of Swords tells me you know this already, and sitting with that knowledge is uncomfortable. You see the gap between who you were in that moment and who you actually are beneath it. That gap haunts you quietly because the version that showed up is not the version that lives inside. And sitting with that awareness takes more strength, more patience than most people would ever understand. I feel like deep down you know the answer already, but fear of being wrong keeps you still. You are afraid that if you step forward now, the damage might already be too deep to repair. But the Queen of Swords also carries wisdom, and that wisdom says honesty can still reach this person. Then we have the Three of Cups reversed, and this adds a layer the reading needed to see. The Three of Cups reversed tells me outside voices clouded your view and influenced your decision. Other opinions crept in quietly, planting seeds of doubt that grew faster than your certainty could handle. You listened to noise that did not belong in this, and that noise led you off your path. The Three of Cups reversed confirms outside energy interfered, touching something that was yours alone to hold. And looking back now, you can feel how hollow that input was compared to what your heart knows. The cards see it inside you, the guilt, the awareness, and the quiet desire to make things right. The distraction was only temporary, but the impact it had on this person went much deeper than expected. Your side of this is not about being wrong. It is about finding your way back. Now let us look at their side of this, because what they feel deserves to be fully heard. This person gave everything they had to this connection, and what came back left them completely shattered. The devotion they carried was not performance, it was built from something real and deeply rooted inside. They made a quiet decision early on, a deep knowing that this was the person they wanted. That decision was not taken lightly. It came after careful thought and long conversations with themselves. They looked at every possible outcome before stepping forward and still chose to take the risk. They weighed every risk before opening up, and when they finally did, they held nothing back at all. When the shift happened, it did not confuse them. It cut into the core of who they are. They are not the type to give their heart easily, and that is what makes this so painful. The fact that they chose vulnerability for once, and it was met with distance, broke something inside them. The first card here is the Six of Pentacles, and it speaks directly to how they showed up. The Six of Pentacles shows me someone who gave generously, pouring time and energy without keeping score. They offered presence when it was needed, patience when things got difficult, and loyalty without conditions. The Six of Pentacles confirms this person showed up with open hands, expecting nothing but honesty back. What they gave was not calculated or strategic. It flowed naturally because the love behind it was real. And now they sit with painful awareness, knowing what they poured out was not met with equal care. They gave from a place of genuine love, and receiving silence in return left them standing hollow. The Six of Pentacles tells me they feel an imbalance, like they emptied themselves into something one-sided. That feeling of imbalance is not bitterness. It is grief over a connection that should have been reciprocal. They keep replaying every moment they showed up, wondering if any of it registered the way it should.
The Knight of Pentacles is next, and it shows what kind of partner they were trying to be. The Knight of Pentacles reveals someone who was building slowly, one intentional brick at a time with care. They were not rushing or being impulsive. They were constructing something meant to weather any storm together. The Knight of Pentacles confirms their approach was steady, grounded, and aimed at long-term commitment. This is someone who pictured a shared future, and every action was a step toward that vision. They did not just dream about it privately, they actively worked toward making it tangible and real. The Knight of Pentacles tells me their patience was deliberate, not passive. Every move had meaning behind it. They chose consistency when others would have given up, and that consistency came from deep belief in this. And now they wonder with real pain if all that building was invisible to who it was for. That question haunts them more than anything else, whether their steadiness was ever truly seen or appreciated. Following that, we have the Five of Cups, and it captures exactly where their emotional state sits. This card shows me someone standing in the middle of loss, staring at what spilled and broke. They are focused on what went wrong, and that grief is consuming most of their waking thoughts. The Five of Cups confirms they feel deep mourning, not for something dead, but something wounded. Anger is not what drives them here. What they feel is closer to heartbreak and quiet disbelief. They cannot understand how someone they built so much with could pull back without warning or reason. What remains is still visible to them, but the pain of what fell keeps pulling their focus away. Two cups still stand behind them in this card, and those cups represent hope not fully abandoned. Even in the middle of grief, a part of them holds on to the possibility that this can heal. The Five of Cups confirms their love did not disappear. It just got buried under layers of confusion. And underneath all of that pain, buried but still breathing, lives someone who wants to be chosen. Their side of this is raw, honest, and full of a love that refuses to let go completely. Everything the cards show about their inner world points to devotion, one that survived even this moment. So let us talk about what is actually happening now, because movement is already in progress here. This situation is not frozen in place, and the energy around it has already started shifting direction. Decisions are forming on both sides, and those decisions are going to shape what this becomes next. The standstill that followed the initial shock is ending, and something new is beginning to take its place. What felt like a dead end is quietly becoming an opening, and it widens with each passing day. Steps are being taken, some visible and some still hidden, but all of them are leading somewhere real. The ground beneath this connection is shifting, and that shift carries real momentum behind it now. Neither side is sitting completely still anymore, and the cards confirm that motion has replaced the silence. The pause that followed the initial shock served its purpose, and now that purpose has been fulfilled. Everything shifted from waiting into preparing, and that preparation is happening faster than either side expects. A conversation is forming in the background, not yet spoken, but almost ready to arrive. The first card here is the Page of Swords, and it brings sharp clarity to the action now. The Page of Swords shows me someone gathering courage, preparing to finally say what needs to be said. Words are being carefully chosen, rehearsed inside quietly, and tested before they are spoken out loud. Communication is the confirmed action point in this card, and that first conversation is imminent now.
A message is coming, direct and honest, one that will change the tone of everything around this. The Page of Swords carries a sharpness that cuts through confusion, and that is exactly what is needed. No more dancing around the truth. No more avoiding the conversation that both sides know has to happen. Finally saying the thing sitting on the tip of the tongue. That is what this card demands. The first move will come through words, not gestures, and those words will carry real weight. The approach will be direct and honest, aimed at clearing the air between both sides completely. A door that was shut is about to open, and it opens because someone finally chooses to speak. That choice to speak is the most important action in this reading, and it happens very soon. This conversation will feel sudden when it lands, but it has been building quietly for weeks. Then we have the Wheel of Fortune, and it confirms the tide is turning in this connection. A cycle is completing itself in this card, old energy clearing out to make room for new. What went wrong is being corrected by the natural flow of events, and nothing can stop that rotation. Timing is shifting in favor of reconciliation now, not further separation or distance between you. Destiny runs through this card, and it says what is meant to come together will find its way. The Wheel of Fortune tells me the universe itself is intervening, turning things toward a second chance. What was broken is not being discarded. It is being redirected toward where it was always meant. Forces beyond either person are rearranging the pieces, creating opportunities that did not exist days ago. Unexpected encounters may happen, sudden shifts in schedule or location that place both sides face to face. These are not coincidences. They are corrections the universe is making on behalf of this connection. The momentum behind this turning point is strong, and trying to resist it would be like fighting gravity. Once the wheel turns, it does not stop until the cycle completes, and completion means reconnection here. The universe does not make corrections halfway, and what is being corrected now will see its full resolution. Both cards together confirm the same thing. Words will break the silence, and fate will do the rest. The Page of Swords initiates the conversation, and the Wheel of Fortune ensures it leads somewhere meaningful. Action is not a distant possibility in this reading. It is the present reality unfolding right now. The next move is closer than either side realizes, and when it lands, it will shift everything instantly. Whatever frozen energy existed between these two is thawing now, and the first crack has already appeared. This section confirms one thing. The stillness is over, and forward motion has officially taken hold. Okay, this is the part where we go beneath everything that has been said into what remains unspoken. If this person could open their chest and let you look inside, what you found would overwhelm you. There are confessions tracked in them that never made it into words, and those confessions run deep. They lay awake, replaying the moment everything shifted, and each time it cuts just as deep as before. The confession they carry loudest is this: they never stopped wanting to be the one you chose. Even after what happened, even after the distance, that desire did not shrink or fade or go quiet. It grew heavier inside them because now it carries the weight of rejection on top of the love. They confess silently, with aching honesty, that losing your attention felt like losing part of themselves. The thing they would never admit out loud, even to themselves, is that your opinion matters most. How you see them defines something deep inside, and when that mirror cracked, it shook their identity. They do not just want this, they need it in a way that frightens them to even admit. The depth of that need is the confession they bury deepest, because it makes them feel too exposed. Admitting that someone holds that much power over your heart is terrifying, and they feel that terror daily. The first card here is the Nine of Swords, and it unlocks what keeps them awake at night. The Nine of Swords shows someone lying in the dark, haunted by thoughts that refuse to quiet. They run through every possible version of what went wrong, searching for the moment they could have saved. The Nine of Swords confirms their mind tortures them nightly with questions that have no satisfying answers. Did they give too much? Did they push too hard? Was there something they missed along the way? These questions loop endlessly, and the confession beneath them is that they blame themselves for your distance. They believe that if they had been enough, you never would have pulled away from this. Their deepest wound is not your action itself. It is what that action confirmed deep inside them. It confirmed a fear they carried long before you, the fear of not being worthy of keeping. That fear existed before this connection, and what happened between you gave it fresh evidence to feed on. They carry the wound of every person who left, and your distance reopened scars they thought had healed. They would never say it out loud, but they believe your retreat proved what they always feared. Then we have the Ace of Wands reversed, and it reveals a confession about desire that went unexpressed. This card shows me passion ready to ignite, but it got swallowed down before it ever could. They had plans and words rehearsed. They had a moment in mind where they would lay it bare. That moment of confession never arrived, and the unspoken truth confirmed by this card still burns. What they wanted to say would have changed everything, and carrying the weight of that silence is exhausting. The words sit right behind their teeth every single day, waiting for a moment that keeps not arriving. They wanted to tell you what you mean to them, in a way leaving no room for doubt. They wanted to confess, in their own vulnerable way, that every future they imagined centered around you. The fire did not die, according to this card. It just lost its outlet and turned inward. That inward fire keeps the love alive even now, burning quietly with no place left to go. They confess silently every day, without meaning to, that you are still the first and last thought. No amount of distance changed that pattern, and the consistency of it is what scares them the most. They tried to redirect their heart elsewhere, and every attempt only confirmed what they already knew inside. The confession buried beneath everything is simple. They still choose you, even knowing you might not choose back. And that choice is not desperation. It is the purest form of devotion they have ever known. That willingness to remain devoted without guarantee, without any promise, is the rawest thing the cards revealed. Everything unspoken inside them points toward one truth. Their heart belongs to you and refuses to leave. These confessions are not fading with time. They are growing roots that sink deeper every day. So looking at the near future, the cards show me this situation is heading toward a turning point. What has been sitting in silence is about to break open, and the breakthrough comes sooner than expected. The near future holds a moment where honesty replaces the distance and everything shifts between you. The first card here is the Temperance, and it confirms that balance is being restored to this connection. Temperance shows me healing entering the picture, a gentle correction that brings both sides back towards center. In the near future, expect a softening in how this person responds to you, walls coming down quietly. Communication that felt impossible will suddenly feel natural, and that shift will surprise both of you deeply. Temperance confirms the near future holds reconciliation energy, not dramatic, but steady and real and lasting. We also have the Judgment card, and this brings a powerful moment of truth into the near future. Judgment shows me a reckoning, a moment where both sides face the full truth of what this is. Old patterns will be released, and what rises from beneath them is the connection in its purest form. Judgment confirms that a second chance is not only possible, it is actively making its way toward you. Now, here is my advice as we close this out, and I need you to hear it. Stop letting fear make your decisions, because fear already cost you something precious once in this situation. The next time your heart speaks, listen to it first before your mind builds a case against it. You do not need every answer figured out. You just need to show up with honest intention. Reach out before pride convinces you that the moment has passed, because the moment is still alive. The advice from the cards is clear. Lead with vulnerability this time, and let protection take a rest. Your heart already knows what it wants, and giving yourself permission to follow it is the bravest thing. Let me bring this reading full circle now, because the message today has been consistent from the start. The message was this: someone wants nothing more than to be yours, and then you did something unexpected. Every card confirmed that message, showing both the impact of what happened and the love that survived it. The Seven of Cups opened with scattered energy, showing a moment of confusion that led to a misstep. The Emperor revealed what this person was building for you, a structured and committed vision for the future. The Two of Wands placed the connection at a crossroads, confirming that a choice still remains ahead. The Four of Swords showed your retreat inward, the quiet processing that followed what you did. The Queen of Swords reflected your logic overriding your heart, a calculated decision at the wrong time. The Three of Cups reversed exposed outside voices, ones that clouded your judgment and pulled you off path. The Six of Pentacles revealed their generous devotion, someone who gave freely without ever keeping score. The Knight of Pentacles confirmed their steady approach, building brick by brick towards something meant to last. The Five of Cups captured their grief, someone standing in loss but still aware of what remains standing. The Page of Swords brought action through honest words, a conversation that is forming and almost ready. The Wheel of Fortune confirmed destiny turning, the universe itself correcting what went wrong between you. The Nine of Swords unlocked their sleepless confessions, the fear and self-blame that haunt them nightly. The Ace of Wands reversed revealed passion that never got expressed, a fire that turned inward, still burning. Temperance and Judgment close this reading with healing, balance, and a powerful reckoning arriving in your future. 14 cards came through in this reading, and every one pointed toward the same undeniable truth here. The love is real.
The pain is real, and the second chance being offered is also real. Nothing in the cards says this connection is finished. Everything says it is waiting to be reclaimed fully. I want you to sit with this reading. Let it settle deep into your spirit and trust it. You are loved more